Gender fluid, cisgender and gender neutral are just 3 of the 24 genders the SNP claim are real, as the Scottish Government is being accused of being, quote, disconnected from the real world. Well, let's speak to Fiona McAnena from Sex Matters about this, frankly, quite balmy revelation. Fiona, surely we need to know who's bisexual, who's androgynous, who's, pansexual and whatever else they are. This is inclusive, isn't it? We need this.
Well, it's easy to laugh at this, isn't it? I think one of my favourites is pangender, which they say is an identity that encompasses all possible genders at once. I don't know what that looks like. But there is a serious point here, because actually you are right that we do need to know people's sexual orientation, because that sometimes has implications for service providers, for healthcare and so on. And obviously we need to know who's male and female, because that also has significant implications for their needs in public life, maternity provision, for example. But all this other stuff, I mean, most people can't even decode what these genders are. And it just becomes a distraction. And I think it really undermines people's confidence in whether the people in government are actually thinking.
Well, Fiona, do you know what, one of the options on the SNP, the government website, is autigender. Do you know what that is? A-U-T-I, gender.
No, I don't, but it's an ever-changing menu. So even if they say it means one thing today, they'll also tell you that only a true autigender person can tell you what it means.
Right. Well, just to clarify, autigender is an autistic person who thinks about and relates to their gender label or lack of gender label in the context of autism. There's dozens more, but there's a serious point here, isn't there? The SNP, well, Nicola Sturgeon at least, her government was brought down by her obsession with self-ID. Why is the SNP still pursuing this kind of nonsense?
Well, it is quite bizarre, and they also, if you remember, went to court to defend their right in the census to allow people to just say they were a different sex from the one they were born. So they are very attached to this. I want to pick up a point about this autigender thing, which is quite a serious one, and that is there's a very high correlation between autism and being confused about whether you're male or female and getting caught up in this whole gender identity thing. And that's one of the biggest problems for children. You know, lots of the children who are referred to gender clinics in Scotland and England have autistic traits. They think very rigidly, and they kind of latch onto this stuff. So it's actually rather serious. There's one other one in here that really struck me, and that's detransitioned. So one of the menu options the Scottish Government recognises is detransitioned. Now, we know that there are people recognising that this was a mistake for them. They, of course, were not born in the wrong body. But if you try to reverse some kind of medical transition, you have serious medical needs, and those are profoundly different whether you're male or female. So all of these genders have got male and female versions, except detransitioned, which is heartbreaking, because actually a detransitioned male and a detransitioned female, those are emerging healthcare specialist areas, and I don't think they're getting the attention they need.
OK, yeah, good point, Fiona. It was a book previously claimed that the Tavistock Clinic, the infamous Tavistock Clinic, ignored evidence that 97.5% of children seeking sex changes had autism, depression or other problems. So, yeah, a point well made on that front. Fiona McAnena, thank you for being with us. You're from Sex Matters.